grade 7. Welcome! How are you? I hope you are doing great. Last year has been tough, right? I hope this year we'll get along as well. Welcome to English 7. Today, let's have a marvelous, electrifying, and enjoyable day in learning English. Before we start our lesson, let's have a quick game. Bring out your paper and pen and try to answer the following. Are you ready? I hope you are. Guess the pattern. Try to answer and guess the next pattern. You have 5 seconds to answer the following. Here's the answer. Are you correct? How about this one? You have 5 seconds. Here's the answer. Awesome! I know you did well on our game. For that, I will give you this star as a treat. Let us start our lesson with our objectives. After going through this module, you are expected to: first, define analogy. Second, analyze relationships presented in analogies. Third, supply other words or expression that completes the analogy. So what are we waiting for? Bring out your module and let the lesson begin. Let us know what is an analogy. An analogy is a comparison of two things to show their similarities. Sometimes, the things being compared are quite similar, but other times, they could be very different. The purpose of an analogy is not merely to show, but also to explain. Analogies are a crucial skill for students to master. Analogies are often used in standardized tests to assess vocabulary mastery. Analogies are written in this format. A single colon separates the word in each pair and it stands for the phrase is to. A double colon separates the pairs of the word and it stands for the word as. For example, sampaguita, flower, mango, fruit. Sampaguita is to flower as mango is to fruit. Another is Sara Geronimo sing Ac Piolo Pascual. Sara Geronimo is to sing as Ac is to Piolo Pascual. For us to know if you understand what analogy is, let's have this exercise. Before that, bring out your paper and pen. Complete the letter of the correct answer. Happy is to laugh as sad is to blank. Letter A, cry. Letter B, glad. Letter C, weep. What is your answer? The correct answer is letter A, cry. Because when you are happy, you laugh, and when you are sad, you cry. How about this one? Dark is to night, as strong is to blank. Letter A, fragile. Letter B, powerful. Letter C, weak. What is your answer? The answer is letter B, powerful. Because when it's dark, it is night, and when you are strong, you are powerful. Great job, class! For that, I will give you another 2 stars. Keep collecting your stars! Let us now proceed to the 5 relationship of analogy. The first relationship is synonyms, a relationship in analogy in which both terms have the same meaning. Example, little, small. Next is antonyms, A relationship in analogy in which the terms are opposite in meaning. For example, kind and cruel. Another is cause and effect. A relationship in analogy in which one term is the result of the other term. For example, thirsty, drink. If you are thirsty, you will drink water. The fourth one is part to whole. A relationship in analogy in which one term is part of the other term. For example, eyes and face. Eyes is part of our face. The fifth one is place. A relationship and analogy in which one word describes a place, location, environment, forum, setting. The other word describes an object or event associated with that place. For example, fish and sea. Understand the first 5 relationships? Let's have this activity. Are you ready? I hope you are. Fact or bluff? Write fact if the bold words in the statements are related to the given type of analogy, and bluff if it is not. You have 5 seconds to answer the following. The first is the sentence synonyms. The answer is fact. How about this one? The answer is bluff. Is the sentence cause and effect? The answer is fact. Is it part to whole? The answer is fact. Is it an antonym? The answer is bluff. Well done! I hope you answer all of them correctly. For that, another 2 stars for you. Keep collecting your stars. To continue, let us now proceed to the other relationships. The 6th type of relationship is characteristic or quality. A relationship in analogy in which the first word names a person or thing, and the second word describes or names a characteristic of that person or thing. For example, puppies is to fairy as fish is to slippery. The characteristic of a puppies is furry, and the characteristic of fish is slippery. The 7th type of relationship in an analogy is degree. A relationship in which one word shows a greater or lesser extent. For example, chuckle is to laugh as whimper is to cry. The 8th type of relationship is function. A relationship in which it makes use of things and the things they do. For example, knife is to cut as pen is to write. The function of a knife is to cut, and the function of a pen is to write. The second to the last or the 9th type of a relationship is called performer and action. A relationship in which the first word names a person or an animal and the second word refers to an action associated with them. For example, author is to write. An author is the performer and the action is write or writing. The 10th and the last type of relationship is called performer and action. A relationship between a person or animal and some object that you associate with that person or animal. For example, chef is to knife. The performer is chef, and the object you can associate with the chef is knife. To fully comprehend the other 5 relationships, let's answer this activity. Write your answer on your paper. Choose me. Choose the letter that corresponds to the given type of analogy. You'll have 5 seconds to answer the following. Which sentence has the analogy of characteristic? The answer is letter C. How about in this one? Which sentence has the function type of analogy? The answer is letter A. For the third one, which sentence has a degree type of analogy? The answer is letter B. For this one, which sentence has a performer and object type of analogy? The answer is letter A. And for the last item, which sentence has a performer and action type of analogy? The answer is letter B. Wonderful! How's the activity? Did you have fun? For that, I'll give you another 3 stars. How many stars did you get? I hope you get all of the stars for today. Let's have a recap for today's lesson. Remember, an analogy is a comparison of 2 things to show their similarities. Sometimes the things being compared are quite similar, but other times they could be very different. Analogies are written in this format: a single colon and a double colon. A single colon separates the words in each pair and it stands for the phrase is to. And a double colon separates the pairs of the word and it stands for the word as. Let us not forget that in relationship of analogy, the first one is synonyms, a relationship in analogy in which both terms have the same meaning. The other one is antonyms, a relationship in analogy in which the terms are opposite in meaning. The third and the fourth one are called cause and effect and part to whole. Cause and effect, a relationship in analogy in which one term is the result of the other term, while the part to whole, a relationship in analogy in which one term is part of the other term. The fifth and the sixth type of relationship of analogy is place and characteristic or quality. A place is a relation in analogy in which one word describes a place, location, environment, forum, setting. The other word describes an object or event associated with that place. The characteristic or quality is a relationship in analogy in which the first word names a person or thing, and the second word describes or names a characteristic of that person or thing. The seventh type of relationship of analogy is called degree, a relationship in which one word shows a greater or lesser extent. The eighth type is called function, a relationship in which it makes use of things and the things they do. The last 2 types of a relationship of analogy is called performer and action and performer and object. The performer and action is a relationship in which the first word names a person or an animal, and the second word refers to an action associated with them. The 10th and the last one is called performer and object, a relationship between person or animal and some object that you associate with that person or animal. Since we're done with our recap, I want you to take a screenshot of your assignment. The title of your assignment is Let's Be Connected. The direction is create your own analogy and name its analogy relationship. Example, blank is to blank as blank is to blank and the type of analogy. Make sure you take a screenshot for your assignment. Thank you for joining my class. I hope you learned and had fun. See you for another marvelous, electrifying, and enjoyable day in learning English. Goodbye!